A cover letter dated in Philadelphia, July 6, 1776, was attached to the Declaration of Independence as it was sent to the British authorities, wherein John Hancock states, "Gentlemen, although it is not possible to foresee the consequences of human actions, yet it is, nevertheless, a duty we owe ourselves and posterity in all our public councils to decide in the best manner we are able and to trust the event to that Being who governs both causes and events, so as to bring about his own determinations." Impressed with this sentiment, and at the time fully convinced that our affairs will take a more favorable turn, the Congress have judged it necessary to dissolve all connection between Great Britain and the American colonies, and to declare them free and independent states, as you will perceive by the enclosed declaration, which I am directed to transmit to you. So began the journey of the 13 former British colonies towards a lasting union of independent sovereign states. In truth, the journey had begun with the first permanent settlement of European emigrant to these shores, as the vast reaches of the continent and vicissitudes of life and settings marked different from those in Europe, shaped an entirely new spirit, a new mentality, morality, and ethic, opposed to tyranny of any variety, secular or ecclesiastic. 56 men appointed by their fellow citizens of each colony, meeting in Congress assembled, determined that the only logical course of action which they could throw off the yoke of tyranny was to declare the independence and sovereignty of the individual colonies and join together in a firm league of friendship with each other for their common defense, the security of their liberties and mutual and general welfare, binding themselves to assist against all forces offered attacks made on them an account of religion, sovereignty, trade, or any other pretense whatsoever. These 56 men, on the authority of the good people, signed the Declaration of Independence, mutually pledging to each other their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. Have you ever wondered what happened to the 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence? 5 signers were captured by the British as traitors and tortured before they died. 12 had their homes ransacked and burned. 2 lost their sons in the Revolutionary War. Another had 2 sons captured. None of the 56 fought and died from wounds or the hardships of the Revolutionary War. What kind of men were they? 24 were lawyers and jurists, 11 were merchants, 9 were farmers and large plantation owners, men of means, well educated, but they signed the Declaration of Independence, knowing full well that the penalty would be death if they were captured. Carter Braxton of Virginia, a wealthy planter and trader, saw his ship swept by the seas of the British Navy. He sold his home and his properties to pay his debts and died in rags. Thomas McKean was so hounded by the British that he was forced to move his family almost constantly. He served in Congress without pay, and his family was kept in hiding. His possessions were taken from him, and his poverty was his reward. Vandals or soldiers or both looted the properties of Ellery, Clymer, Hall, Walton, Gwinnett, Hayward, Rutledge, and Milton. At the Battle of Yorktown, Thomas Nelson Jr. noted the British General Cornwallis had taken over the Nelson home for his headquarters. The owner quietly urged General George Washington to open fire. The home was destroyed, and Nelson died bankrupt. Francis Lewis had his home and properties destroyed. The enemy jailed his wife, and she died within a few months. John Hart of New Jersey was driven from his wife's bedside as she was dying. Their 13 children fled for their lives. His fields and grist mill were laid to waste. For more than a year, he lived in forests and caves, returning home to find his wife dead and his children vanished. A few weeks later, he died from exhaustion and a broken heart. Lewis Morris, Philip Livingston suffered similar fates. Such are the stories and sacrifices of the American Revolution. These were not wild-eyed, rabble-rousing ruffians. They were soft-spoken men of means and education. They had security, but they valued liberty more. Standing tall, straight, and unwavering, he pledged. For the support of this declaration, with the firm reliance of the protection of our divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. They gave you and I a free and independent America. The history books of today do not tell the student a lot of what happened leading to and during the Revolutionary War. We didn't just fight the British. We were British subjects. A state of siege and repression of rights and liberties had existed for many years, and a state of war had existed for 2 years prior to the signing of the Declaration, and we fought our own government. This is the beginning of the Declaration of the 13 United States of America, dated July 4th, 1776. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and the laws of God entitle them a decent respect to the opinions of mankind, requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is our history. This is America. We are the United States of America. We separated from tyranny, and again we come together to celebrate the greatest nation in the world, the United States of America.